Hey guys, happy Sunday. I hope that everybody had an awesome holiday weekend, that you got to spend it with friends and family, and you got fireworks and fun and food and all the F's. All the F's. I am hopping in here today just real quick because I wanted to invite you to my Facebook group, because next week we're going to be doing a workshop on sleep. And I will tell you, this is the key. If you are looking to get control of your weight, start weight loss, start fat loss, have more energy during the day, get rid of that brain fog, kind of feel like your hormones are better in balance, work on your hunger, your cravings, your blood sugar balance, lower your hemoglobin A1C or lower your pre-diabetes changes that you're seeing, you have to sleep. And it is one of the most underrated things. It's one of the things that when I'm working with clients one-on-one or in a group program, that we talk about sleep right off the bat. And we end up talking about sleep the second week that we meet, and the third week that we meet, and the fourth week that we meet, until eventually they get the realization that sleep is a non-negotiable, and we treat it as an afterthought most of the time. But let me give you some sobering statistics about sleep. When you lose 90 minutes of sleep, just 90 minutes of sleep, how often do we do that during the week? Then our alertness the next day is decreased by a third. So if you're feeling like you can't concentrate, like you're waking up and you're not feeling rested, you got to go outside. Jimmy says, I got to go outside. Go on, baby. If you feel like you're not able to think, or you're not feeling rested, or you're not feeling creative, or you're not feeling like you're getting things done, it could be that you didn't have enough sleep the night before. For those people who have less than 6 hours of sleep a night, that used to be me. I am getting in bed earlier than ever. And on those mornings where I am trying not to set my alarm too early, so that I can get myself to get over that 6 hours of sleep. But for those of you who sleep less than 6 hours a night, you increase your risk of obesity by 55%, over half. You increase your risk of obesity. So for those of you who are struggling to lose weight, you have that belly fat, you're watching your numbers go up, it could be that the easiest thing that you can do is sleep. And for those of you who are always reaching for supplements first, I'm just going to tell you that until you master your ability to get 8 hours of sleep a night and restful sleep, until you prioritize that for yourself, no supplement is going to do for you what sleep can do for you. And it's absolutely free. Also, poor sleep. When you have poor sleep consistently, so if you're someone who says, I only get 5 hours of sleep a night, I function fine on 5 hours of sleep a night, or I get to bed and I'm in bed for 8 hours, but I'm not sleeping that whole time, or I don't feel rested when I wake up, I don't feel like I get good sleep, you're increasing your risk of diabetes by 89%. It's going to catch up with you. It's going to show up somewhere in your life. And it's, it might be that you don't get your sleep tonight, and tomorrow you're less alert, you're less creative, you have brain fog, you have less energy. But what's likely to happen is that you have a lifetime of poor sleep, and it's going to show up in high triglycerides, diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular risk. It's going to show up. It's going to show up in your increased risk of dementia. So I want you to take this seriously, because it is absolutely serious. And it takes zero money, zero investment, other than just the time to invest to learn what to do. Women who have poor sleep have higher ghrelin, which makes us hungry. That's our hunger hormone. And they have lower leptin. That's a hormone, but it actually tells your body when you're satisfied. That's our satiety hormone. And those two things, those two hormones that tell us when we're hungry to eat, we lose that ability to learn that, so that we are more at risk for emotional eating. We're more at risk to eat out of boredom. We don't get that signal when we've had enough calories and we've had enough food that we should actually stop eating. We don't get that message. So for those of you who feel like, oh my gosh, I'm always hungry, I'm always craving, I never feel like I get satisfied anymore. I see that my intake, my food intake is so much more than what it used to be, but you're not sleeping, you're self-sabotaging by doing that. And then just remember that, you know, the janitors of your brain, of your whole entire body, all right, I'm just going to say that, of your whole entire body, but especially of your brain, because that's where we seem to notice it first, or that's what gets our attention first, is when we have that brain fog, when we can't think of people's names, when we have no creativity, when we just feel like, you know, we have no attention span. All of those things might mean that you aren't asleep long enough for your brain to repair itself, for it to do some deep house cleaning and to get rid of those plaques that build, those things that cause dementia, those things that cause us to have brain fog until we end up with dementia. And I don't want that for anybody. So next week, we are doing a workshop, a sleep workshop in my Facebook group, and I will include the link so that you can get yourself over there. This is just a 7-day a 7-day workshop, because what I want you to do is to be sure that what you're learning, you have a little bit of time to apply it, and that we see how differently, we see for ourselves how our routine differs between the weekday and the weekend. And I want you to learn that that is why you have problems during the week, is because of what you do on the weekend. So you need to treat your sleep as a non-negotiable every single day, and you really need to have a consistent pattern throughout all 7 days of the week. And that's what we're going to do next week. So I hope to see you there. If this resonates with anyone, if you'll share this so that your sphere of influence, your friends and your family can find this and they can do it along with you. Because I find that whenever we share information and we have more accountability, that it keeps us in line a whole lot better. And it's a whole lot more fun when we do it with people that we know and love. All right, I'll see you on Monday.